Okay, well, I have a reveal for you guys.
Okay.
So are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
I'm ready.
So Brandon does not get the reveal. Okay.
There you go.
Oh, my God.
Oh, where's Sailor Moon?
Oh, I had to take her down because I had to paint the walls.
Oh, put her back up. I miss her.
Aw.
This looks great.
Yeah.
Wow. And you look so coordinated to like blend with the room really nicely. Really nice contrast.
There's a yellow couch. Yep, there's the couch.
Shit.
There's all my art. So once everything is done, once the paint is cured, you can get all the art up. I've got a big ass Loki poster that I have a frame for somewhere off screen that is waiting to go up. I have a ton of all of my like commissioned artworks over the years are on some of these pieces of material that will go up, so you can like see my OCs, but you won't see them, but they're there.
We'll feel them.
You will feel them.
It's TV time! This is episode 395 of the Insert Credit Show, a video game discussion with a panel of experts regulated by a horrible buzzer. I'm Alex Jaffe, and if you can correctly guess how many credits you have right now, I will give you 1 extra credit.
I'm Frank Cifaldi, and I am correctly guessing 6 credits.
That's correct.
Yes!
You're up to 7 now.
I'm Ash Parrish, and I am guessing I have 7 credits.
That is incorrect. You have 8 credits.
You have 8.
Oh, because I won one at the end of damn it, the last time I was here. All right, well.
I'm Brandon Sheffield, and I'm 95% sure that I have 5.
That's correct. You're up to 6. Way to be on the ball, everybody.
Nice.
I'm very proud of you. Welcome back to the full-on regular panel of this show. Happy to finally all be recording together again. Ash, you've been out on assignment. You gotten like some kind of car trouble, but you were also across the country, just like traveling, doing video game stuff. What can you tell us about that?
Summer Games Fest was very weird. I was there during all of the protests and all that kind of stuff. Got kind of scary for a little bit of that.
I'm sure.
You know, Summer Games Fest, you're in this like bubble, right? You are at the campus. You go from appointment to appointment. If you've scheduled yourself correctly, you have like no time to like look at your phone or even eat. So like, I have no idea what's going on. And then, you know, a couple of those days, like I get text messages from people who are like, Ashley, you need to like get off the street. Like, get off the street. Shit's going down. The National Guard's been deployed. We're, you know, invoking insurrection acts or whatever. Like, get off the street. And that's kind of scary when you don't have an idea of, you know, what actually is going on. And you're in a place where you're not 100% familiar with everything. And you are at a place where you know that there are a lot of international people and that your government has a habit of rounding up international people and like detaining them for no good reason for weeks at a time. So you get kind of scared and you get kind of like, maybe you guys, maybe not me, maybe I'll be fine because, you know, even though I am brown, I still am a citizen. Maybe, but you're still in the middle of this thinking like, oh, I've got a job to do. And it's playing video games. And that's just like super fucking weird. And on top of that, like the vibes as Summer Games Fest were kind of low because there weren't any games there. Like there were games there. And there were good games there. But usually, you know, these kinds of things have to be anchored by like a big AAA showing. Like last year we had Astrobot and a bunch of other shit that I can't think of off the top of my head right now. And this year we had Capcom with Resident Evil and, you know, Xbox with Outer Worlds 2, which, you know, no shade to the people who enjoy Outer Worlds 2, but that's not really, you know, something you show up for like that. So that was weird. And the vibes were weird, but I always love going to Summer Games Fest, because I get to see all of my friends. They're great. And I do get to see good games that I normally would not encounter, you know, sitting at home, you know, having to cover the games that I have to cover because that's what, you know, excites people and drives traffic. So I find my little hidden gems and I enjoy that. And I talk to my friends. I meet Ben Starr. He signs my card. I beat a couple of Magic the Gathering developers at Magic the Gathering.
You were very excited about that.
Yeah, that was fun.
You were so excited, and I was like, "Who's this man? Who's this
God.
random man that you're with?" It's just there's a man there, and you're really excited. I still don't know who that is.
It's the guy who voices Clive in Final Fantasy 16.
Oh, okay.
And I pulled a Clive card, and it was like a special Clive card that has like full art and everything. And I'm like, I know what I must do now, and I have to ask him for his autograph. And the thing about that was, so like every day at the end of the day, there's this mixer at this one hotel. Everybody's there. So he was there. He was there a couple nights. I got to, hang out and chat with him. He's a stupendous guy, just like the sweetest guy you'll ever meet. Like, he's so nice. He's so cool. You definitely can meet some of your heroes. But I went up to the front desk at this hotel. I'm like, can I have a Sharpie? And then the lady looks at me. She's like, is it for an autograph? And I am a terrible liar. I have no poker face whatsoever. And I'm like defeated because I'm like, yes. Because I forget I'm in LA. And, this hotel staff probably thinks there's some, star celebrity that's in the hotel, and they don't want people harassing them, because this was the same week that the BET Awards were going on. And like there was a very interesting mix of like nerds and Black people, which I came up with a name for that I will not repeat on this show, but you can put that together. It's alliterative. Yeah. And so I'm like, yes, but I like, he's my friend. He knows me. He's a friend from work. Like, it's serious. Like, I kind of call him my friend because he knows who I am. So she gave me the Sharpie. I had him sign the card. It was great. Yeah.
Was she actually judging you for that? And do you actually think that's why she was asking?
Yes. I absolutely
she was
100%.
Trying to prevent. Okay.
Yes.
Got it.
I 100%, because of where we were and what was going on at the same time, I 100% think like, oh yeah, we're not going to let these weirdos harass our celebrity guests. I'm not going to permit this. But she gave it to me anyway. I did give it back. So I'm glad that happened, because I just had to do it. I had to do it. And he was telling me that he had been waiting all weekend for someone to bring him one of his cards to sign, because Magic had like a little tent there at Summer Games Fest, and nobody had yet. And so he told me like, Ash, you will always be my first. And I died. Because it's Ben Starr telling you this. And if you don't know who Ben Starr looks like, he's a very handsome British man. Like, he is super attractive.
Did he do it in a character's voice?
No, he just did it in his regular British accented voice. That's more than enough.
I think I really don't understand what people find attractive in men, which, is fair enough. But no offense to him, he looks like a man. He looks like a man. This is like a regular man.
Is it because you don't have a beard, Brandon? If you had a beard, you might understand. Beards are like makeup for men. So, it just works. It just contours the face. It gives him a rugged look. Like, I don't know. He's a handsome looking dude.
Frank, you have a beard. What do you think about male aesthetics?
Oh, I agree. This is my makeup.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't always put it on right, but, I sculpt this thing for like the appearance of cheekbones.
Exactly.
So, yeah, absolutely.
Have you guys ever looked to get an autograph from someone at one of these shows?
No.
Not.
I didn't mean to say it that way.
Genuinely. I'm not saying this to be judgmental. That's just not something I value. I get the same thing out of a selfie as I would from an autograph. I don't need the additional autograph on top of that. Sure.
I was just going to say, to be clear, like, this is not something that I would do. Like, I don't care.
Well, I think for you it was, so I think in this situation I might, because I've got this card.
You had a whole scenario going on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think that's what would push me to do it as well.
Yeah.
Like, if you, I don't know, had a copy, I don't know, like an original pressing of like Doom or something, and John Carmack was there. This probably, I'm getting those developers all wrong. I'm sorry.
So the last time I got an autograph from someone, was a voice actor, Cam Clark. I think the only video game reference would be he was a villain in Killer 7, but he was one of the Ninja Turtles. I don't remember. Leonardo, I think. And he was Deflator Mouse in the Tick cartoon.
Oh, yeah.
That was a really funny role. He was at Portland Retro Gaming Expo last year. He just had one of his, little booths where it's like $50 for an autograph kind of thing. And we do a little pop-up museum at that show. And I had bought nothing that whole show. And part of our exhibit was actually like a little advertisement for the Tick video game from 1994. So I went and spent $50 and talked to Cam Clark about playing Deflator Mouse, which I don't think many people do. I think many people are like kids going, "You're a Ninja Turtle," right? But I was like,
which Ninja Turtle was he?
He was
I
Leonardo.
think it was Leonardo. Was he Leonardo?
He was
Yeah,
the
also
worst one.
Liquid Snake in the
He
Metal
was.
Gear Solid games.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. I completely forgot his actual primary video game role was not Killer 7. It was his Liquid Snake, right? But that was another one where it's like situation where it's like, okay, I have 10 minutes to finally go on the show floor. Oh my God, that's Cam Clark. I have a tick thing over here. I'm going to go get him to sign it. So kind of similar situation. I'm not like a big Cam Clark fan, but that was my souvenir of that year.
I would have held up for Chairface. Here's a question from Merritt K, our buddy who was on last week's episode. Which classic film should have gotten an inexplicable platformer adaptation on the NES?
Ooh.
Oh God, there's so many. Tango and Cash.
Oh, Tango and Cash
great.
is a really good one.
Oh, I can't beat that.
I watched Tango and Cash for the first time just like 6 years ago or something like that. And I was looking for the licensed game that would be based. But it came out it was like 1995, 96. It was like just the wrong time to have like a cheaply made licensed game. So it didn't have one. It's really, really too bad.
It's still a good answer. It could have worked on the Super Nintendo. It could have. Yeah. I don't know. Like every time,
Ocean.
Every time one of them gets hurt, like it's just like way too reverberated.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
And they have a voice sample that says Tango and Cash and Tango.
What are the special abilities of Tango versus Cash?
Well, Tango's got a gun, right? Cash the dog. Let's establish this.
Tango.
You're thinking of Turner and Hooch.
Which one's Tango and Cash?
Tango and Cash.
Which is also a correct answer.
Turner and Hooch would also be a great one.
Turner and Hooch is a better answer. Okay.
I like this. That this is where Tango and Cash is Kurt Russell and Sylvester Stallone.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was an unsuccessful buddy action comedy. It was 1989. No, they should have had.
Yeah.
That should have been an NES platform.
Should have been one.
Yeah.
God darn it.
Okay, what's the life cycle of the SNES?
NES, so the question was NES.
Question was
mind.
NES. Yeah.
And I would say the expected range where something would reasonably come out would be I'd go 88 to 93.
Oh, Last Action Hero probably does have a...
It did come out on the NES. Yes.
And the Genesis too.
All right. My answer, you ready?
Yes.
Yeah. Sure.
Arachnophobia.
Oh,
Wait, that's a game?
Not on the NES.
Oh, is it on the SNES?
Like a DOS game or something, I think.
Oh.
But like not a real like console game, like a fake computer game.
I've seen a retro streamer play Arachnophobia. What is that for? It's not.
I think it's like DOS. Game? Yeah, I think it's like a DOS game, maybe a Amiga or something.
I'm looking
Those don't
at it.
count.
Yeah, it was 1991. I tried to watch that movie. You
it wasn't bad.
You really have to be scared of spiders to for that, and
you're going to be scared of
didn't work.
the green spiders that like walk really fast when you're on the same plane as them.
That's right.
You're going to be scared of like the really big red spider that uses the background graphic tiles and not the foreground ones because it's big.
That's the one that that's in the auto scrolling level and constantly pushes you forward.
Oh yeah.
That one's going to be there.
Good game.
Well, since I disagree with the overall premise of the question, I'm just going to throw out my answer, which is Ocean's 11. Mm-hmm. I know that came out too late.
The 50s movie. No, you could be the 50s movie.
I could, yeah, but that's not as fun. Like, it's more fun when it's Brad Pitt and George Clooney. But I'm going to use that to segue to talk about one of the games that I saw at Summer Games Fest that I think you all should play because Ocean's 11 finally has its platformer. It's called Reloaded, and it's a game developed by African game developers based in South Africa, and it's about stealing back your cultural artifacts from these, like, using like these elaborate heists.
Oh, that's
it's
the
like
thing we keep joking about that Indiana Jones should become. So
exactly, and these people are actually like, fine, I'll do it my fucking self. Since Laura Croft and Nathan Drake and Indiana Jones don't want to do the right thing, so it's like a auto runner kind of game where you set up the heist beforehand, where you place like people of your team that have like these special powers, so you can, once you start the heist, they can be there strategically to like help you hack a door or something like that so you can escape. And one of the things that I thought was really interesting that one of the developers told me is that every artifact that you steal is an actual artifact that is that the people like from its culture have been asking back, that the people who own it like will not give back. So I thought that was a nice little element. They each get their own like lore entry in the game. So you have them in like your trophy room and you can look at them and it's like, oh, this is a real artifact from this culture and from this time and from, this is where it currently resides and we've been asking for it back for, all this kind of stuff. Great game. It's not out yet. I think that they said a demo would be put on Steam, but if you have the opportunity, when you see it come up, reloaded, great game.
Okay, I just somewhat cheated and Googled 1990 movies, and there's a lot of good ones here. But I'm gonna go for Ernest Goes to Jail.
That's a good one. I looked at that same list. I'm really curious what an NES Flatliners game would look like.
Oh, that was a good movie.
I did not look at a list, but I realized that there was not an NES Highlander game.
There's not?
And that should there's really no reason why that didn't exist, in my opinion. There's a lot of good ones.
So it'd probably use some of the same sprites from Arachnophobia, but another good one would be It.
Yeah?
We just leave out the part with all the kids in the sewer having sex, though.
No. Yeah, well, they have, okay, the sex part we leave out. All right, fine.
The problem with Highlander is they already made a Highlander game for the ZX Spectrum, and there can be only one.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Good job.
Well, they actually had to behead Sir Clive in order to make the Jaguar CD game. So.
That's right.
Next question. When should a video game have an open world?
Super Mario Brothers the movie. Sorry, late entry.
Oh, absolutely.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Absolutely 100% correct. Thank you for stopping me.
Yeah.
When should a video game have an open world?
Oh, goodness. When I have a lot of free time.
It's a good question. Like my gut is like when the core premise is exploration, but I don't know that that's necessary because I don't like Red Dead Redemption is not a game that I actively explore all that much. A little bit, but not too much. But I like the open world because of the contemplative nature of traversing on your horse in that world. Like that really works for me.
I would say a game should have an open world when it is designed around that concept. When the open world is something that is of note rather than something that you just you feel you have to do because it's what a big game does. Like, designed around exploration and around the openness of the world being interesting. Not just a kind of find all the points on the map. Although, I will also say that I feel like Kaizen Gameworks does a good job of making me interested in picking up all the little points on the map because they're always... somehow they do a good job with that, with both Paradise Killer and Promise Mascot Agency. I'm always interested to see what's out there. To me, there's got to be like a blend of, this is maybe a good thing for Annie Austin, but a blend of boring drabness and points of interest to where there can be like a bunch of nothing and that's kind of interesting, but then there can be this like weird shape and configuration and that's even more interesting. But there's got to be like a mix of those two. But the reason that the Kaizen Gameworks ones are good, I think, is partially because it's always an island. So it's open, but it's contained. It's not, that there's boundaries and you know what those boundaries are, but there's a lot to explore within that space and it is essentially open.
The answer to this, so there's like, these rules of writing, never end your sentence in a preposition, never begin a sentence with like an and, that kind of shit. Except when you do all those things and it work. It's like that. Like that's kind of what Brandon's answer is. It's like, not often. Like my answer is never. Like you should never make an open world game unless you do it right.
Never, that's for sure.
It's really
Take
weird.
all my
Oh,
life.
I'm going to be mad at Brandon for not telling me
do?
that Demon School was at Summer Game Fest at the Indie Mix, which I moved heaven and earth and canceled more than one appointment to go to just because, and I didn't know his Demon School was going to be there, but I just did it because I wanted to go. I had played Demon School for the first time.
Hey!
I know. I
Woo.
feel kind of bad because I know you've had like demos on Steam or whatever for a long time and I've just never played it. And I saw it was there and I'm like, oh, like, let me go play this. It seems cool. I was hoping that somebody from Necrosoft was there. They were not. It was just a PR guy who was there who was explaining it. And the way that he explained it made the game sound unnecessarily complicated, but actually playing.
I'm very curious to hear what that was.
Great news for Brandon.
Yeah, that's good.
Like the positioning of like all of the people on the board, you know, when you're fighting or whatever, it's like, oh, you have to do this to like inspire this because he's within, you know, a couple squares of this and, you know, all that kind of stuff kind of made it seem a little like complicated, like hearing it. But once I played it, I'm like, oh, this is actually really kind of cool. I'm into this. Like I'm interested to see more of this. So I'm going to be looking out for Demon School. I already was, but now I'm like super looking out for it. So good job. You guys made something really interesting and different, which I appreciate.
We finally made a tutorial 2 weeks ago.
I gotta say, that was the only game that I played there. I was looking at other things and I just kind of really wasn't interested. Like there were things that were cool looking, but nothing that made me want to like pick it up and play. So
I mean, you were just lamenting the fact that there was no big game of the show. It sounds like you played it.
No, that was not my game of the show. If we have time later, I'll talk about it, but that was not my game of the show.
Pragmato wasn't playable, right?
Pragmata was playable, is not my game of the show. Yeah.
Did you initiate hack?
Yes, I initiated that. So there was a funny thing at Summer Games Fest with everybody who played Pragmata.
That part of that trailer was very embarrassing if you all didn't see it.
We played Pragmata, and if you don't know what it is, it's like a Capcom game where you are this like big gruff astronaut dude that partners up with this like tiny little blonde white child that's actually like a robot,
cyborg,
and like she hacks things, and then you fight them because you can't like damage them good enough unless they're hacked or whatever. So every dude, me and my friend Alyssa Mercante, we conducted this little experiment. We asked people what they thought of Pragmata, and every dude was like, oh, talked about the gameplay, talked about like how it's interesting or how it wasn't interesting or whatever. Every woman was like, that little kid is weird. She's pedo bait because she's walking around like making all these noises like, climbing on the back of this grown ass man. She's got no shoes on. Like, come on. What are we doing here? This kid is pedo bait. Every woman like mentioned the fact that kid was weird. No man didn't. He was very funny.
That's odd. I mean, that's certainly what I first thought. I was like, this is a very weird thing. Also, check out my BlueSky post for this title screen for RoboCop 3 on the NES. Speaking of which is basically just Pragmata. It's exact.
Oh, good news! We have our episode.
Oh my god! Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this tells me that I've never seen the movie RoboCop 3 because I didn't know he had a little kid buddy with a gun.
I saw the movie, but I don't remember it. The
Is this an ocean invention?
It may be.
Is this an ocean OC?
There's this inexplicable version of Transformers where the cars can only transform when like a little girl kisses them. Is this that for RoboCop?
Pragmata was troubling for me, not just because of the presentation of the child, but also because I just really struggle when I hear like a 30-year-old doing child voice.
Boy.
And so it was really like, initiate hack.
That was painful. That was painful.
Well, yeah, he wanted us to feel the struggle.
I wanted
and he
you
succeeded.
to feel the pain that I feel.
Yeah.
Initiate
also,
everybody.
I did play Pragmata. I had a hard time with it. Like, I think the gameplay is fine or whatever. Like, it's interesting or whatever. But I went to that game demo right after demoing Deadpool VR. And VR makes me sick as a dog. Like, it just, I should not have taken that appointment, but I did.
Added an extra layer of realism for this.
Yeah, and I was wobbling around, like, after, you know, trying to get from Meta's booth to the Capcom booth, and I'm like, I'm sick. Like, they gave me these ginger candies that were completely unhelpful. Like, I was just so sick. And then to go from that into, like, another, like, first-person shooter kind of deal, or third-person over-the-shoulder shit, like, oh, man, I thought I was going to throw up all over the shiny PS5s.
I want to be clear, by the way, my stance on Pragmata is I'm glad when anybody tries anything and I'm going to play it, but I am going to make fun of that little girl situation that they created.
Same. Like, the game is interesting, but same.
I need to initiate the next question.
Okay.
It's Pride Month, everybody. Happy Pride. Last week, Esper asked the panel about simple things that developers could do to queer up their games. This week, I have a similar question.
Complicated things?
Exactly. What are some extremely complicated things that developers could do to queer up their games?
Branching narrative paths that completely change depending on whether you are able to succeed in the gay agenda and turn a straight character queer.
That's fun. I don't know. I'm thinking of like a romance game where you like drill down into all the different kinds of like different sexualities. Not just like gay and straight and pan, but like the super niche ones. So like sapiosexual, that is a joke. That kind of shit. I don't know. I would have been great for the simple question because the translators or the localizers over at who worked on 100 Line, Last Defense Academy, top notch. Like there's a line in there where this guy is like, are you sure? Like, I don't hit girls, but do you want to like crack your egg so you can take a beating? And I'm like, Will the doll in the localizations department stand the fuck up because that's some great shit. Like that is super coded. Like if you're not in and you don't know what that means, you have no idea what that means. But if you know, you fucking know. And that got a good laugh out of me. But complicated, I have no idea. I'm sorry. It's like it doesn't take much. We're starving out here. Just do simple shit and it'll work like that.
Well, we covered the simple shit though.
I know.
We're getting
just keep doing the simple shit.
Yeah, I agree.
We don't need to get complicated.
Yes, shut up, Jaffe.
Oh, I'm sorry.
This question is over.
We haven't mastered the simple, uncomplicated shit first.
But I am interested in the idea of actually. We also do a lot of complicated queering up of video games. Like if you look at Twine games, and there becomes a lot of discussion about whether this game is appropriative or whether this game is positive or whether the complexity of it is the positive thing. And I guess that's an aspect that we can do right now is make a narrative that everybody disagrees on. Whether it's positive or regressive or transgressive or whatever. I don't know if that's good, but it's complicated.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like my answer last week surrounded about just like leaving enough ambiguity that people could self-insert, and I guess my answer to this is just the opposite of that, which is like try to have situations for every kind of sexuality, right? And I think that just gets really silly after a while. And therefore is overly complicated. So there you go.
You could do something. I haven't thought this all the way through yet, but you got like your Stellar Blade type video game where it's very male gazy, and then if you could find a way to turn that around and make the male gazer feel as though they are forced to embody the character.
This is a very David Cage line of thinking, man.
And it's very complicated, but it's possible to do. And if someone did it, that would be pretty interesting.
Oh, Lord.
I'm into that, yeah.
Yeah. Give it a try.
This is some real words and deeds over here.
Yeah, well.
I'm not sure about this one.
Come on, David Cage did a great job.
It is
cultural
complicated.
Sensitivity.
It's complicated. You didn't ask for good.
True. I did ask for good.
Yeah,
right.
You asked
That's
for complicated.
True.
You know, egg on my face. Something to think about as we go to the break here.
Just so you know, now with this new setup, there is a not small chance that one day during a break, you guys will see my bare naked ass because sometimes I am not podcasting with pants on.
You can try to get in the habit of turning off the camera if you get up, but if you don't, no one will judge you.
So if you see
Esper
my underwear,
will edit it out of the program.
Okay, hang on. That's where I was confused because I'm like, not even underwear? Ash?
No,
Like,
I'm wearing underwear. I'm not just... Jesus.
You're just like full commando down there?
Oh,
come on.
No.
You're Winnie the Poohing it?
No. Like I'm just here in my house. Like this is
It's
just
nice that you're
how
comfortable around us.
Yeah, I do not care.
Okay.
Frank is naked right now.
It's true. Yeah. This
From
is
the
actually
shoulders
my
down.
flesh color.
Yeah.
I'm very sick.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got a very loose outer layer of skin.
I'm wearing 15 layers right now, so you don't have to worry.
Welcome back to
Thanks.
Insert Credit. Why don't you walk along with me over to the question hole, and we'll see what delights we can discover together.
Peer within.
This is the part of the show where I take a question submitted to us at patreon.com/insertcredit, where you, listening to this, can submit your questions, get monthly bonus episodes, other nice surprises, maybe pull a gotcha. We're doing some things over there. This week's question comes from Littleboat, who asks, what's the worst goo in a video game?
Gooigi, the goo from
Gooigi, yeah.
People love Gooigi.
What was the most recent Mario game where it was the new guy? What was the name of that one? Super Mario Wonder, where it was all a big metaphor for him getting high. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You got the Wonder Flower. I wonder what that means. Yeah, the goo in that, because I remember my boss Andrew Webster asked. He had an interview with Nintendo with that, and he asked what the goo tastes like, and I don't remember what they answered, but he definitely asked.
Well, the worst goo is not the ooze, because that's like the unofficial retro game mascot of BlueSky right now. The ooze is hard to play though. See, the boogers in Booger Man, that's gross.
That's a bad goo.
That's a bad goo. It's not a goo. Oh, the goo in Death Stranding, I don't like it at all.
Isn't it just black?
Yeah, but it's
like it's got tendrils and stuff.
I don't like what it does for the game. So that's why for me it's maybe one of the worst goos, because I was having fun until the goo appeared, and then I stopped having fun, and then I stopped playing. So it was the worst in that way.
I don't know what it is that's in the air right now where
it's goo.
We all it's
okay,
the ooze. We just like all things just lead back to the ooze lately. I don't know what's going on. I've seen it on BlueSky. We've talked about it here, but the ooze is pretty bad goo.
So what is this ooze now?
It's a Sega Genesis game where you play as some goo.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're just some goo.
You're just some goo, and this is a first-party Sega game called The Ooze. Like they're like, this is a system seller.
Do you find the secret?
That's pretty good.
Thank you.
That's good ooze. That's like slime toy ooze. The secret of the ooze.
Yeah.
I went and picked up my ooze cartridge.
There's the ooze.
This is the ooze.
Is that an attempt to capitalize on a boy and his blob?
This little guy. No. There's a little angry fellow with red eyeballs who is the ooze. It's a hard game to play. It's obnoxious, but it's kind of neat. Like a lot of those Sega Technical Institute games, there was an idea, and they tried to do it in a few months, and they sort of mostly did it.
Okay, I have an answer. It's the purple water in Chemical Plant Zone.
Oh, yeah, that's bad.
But
that's
it's pretty.
Bad goo.
No, it's not bad. It's not pretty.
Oh, it isn't?
No, it's bad because it's scary.
Uh-oh.
Brandon, you're a Captain Planet villain.
Which is so against
ooze
type.
is so pretty. We must give more ooze to the ocean.
I'll take pollution up from 0.
Yeah. There was a goo that really freaked me out.
I like to loot and also plunder.
Yeah, I'm looting and polluting is what I'm doing.
Yeah. There was this character in the early Kirby games named Gooey, who has these big bug eyes and this very, very long tongue. And
user interface.
Yeah, the first time I saw it in a Kirby game, I got so freaked out that I think I dropped my Game Boy. Just a real jump scare for me.
And you said, "Oh, my stars!"
Yeah.
Wait, what is the name of this Kirby villain?
Gooey, Gooey. It's not a villain; it's a friend.
Oh,
yeah, just something about it. Just encountering it in a room that I was not expecting it to be in freaked me out.
Square Enix, I think you have a case here.
Yeah,
because that looks like that blue slime from
that's real slime.
Dragon Quest game.
I don't know. I just have a thing about super long tongues. It creeps me out.
Oh yeah, that fella.
Yeah,
with the big old tongue. To me, this looks like a Dragon Quest character. So that's
that's what Ash was saying.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I said Square Enix. I think you need to call your lawyer.
I'm sorry.
Also, you need to get better quality control because what the fuck? We were talking about Final Fantasy Tactics, and apparently they lost the source code for that, which is a thing that happens at Square Enix because they lost the source code for Kingdom Hearts 1 too.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I mean
Yeah,
it happens
they just
all
lose
over.
source codes over
okay,
there.
the
That's a
problem
Japan-wide
isn't
thing.
losing source code. The problem is never keeping it.
Preserving it, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's not like they had it in a nice place and then they can't find it now. Like it just was not a concern ever, is my guess at the time.
Those old lost Doctor Who episodes. Nobody thought.
Right?
to save.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
not
they
like
said
let's
it
put
was- it
these in
wasn't-
the archive. Like that's not a thing.
Yeah, it wasn't that. It was just like we just didn't preserve it.
Yeah.
And so they had to like rebuild it, reverse engineer it from other games.
If they want to take a little longer on that, that would be fine with me as well. If they want to just like push that game out a few months more, so that it doesn't release anywhere near Demon School, I think that would be really
That would be nice. Yeah.
for them to do if they could just think about that. So we really don't like the purple water in Chemical Plant Zone. I just posted it in the chat. Look at it; it's nice.
It's pretty.
I think it's fine. It behaves like water. They don't seem to have any bad effects.
It's
other
scary.
than water.
It's scary.
Okay,
Like
It's a
I
nice-
drowned
nice
in
hue.
this zone more than any other zone, even like
Beep,
the
beep,
bespoke
beep, beep.
water zones. Like this one is the one that I associate the most with the anxiety, Sonic is drowning music, because this is where I drown the most.
Yeah.
Esper said that it's not water; it's chemical. I'm just gonna say chemical. Water's a chemical. The end.
I'm gonna call it goo, which is the question.
All right.
Let's go back to the 90s one more time.
Thanks.
We often think about 90s video games in terms of technological limitations of a developing medium, but how were they informed by their wider historical context?
A lot more licensed games of contemporary movies.
Yeah, that's true. So and where my brain goes from there is that in the 90s, at least for the first half, there was still some confusion about what games are. Are they toys? Are they consumer electronics? Are they their own distinct thing? And I think of the first half of the 90s still being very sort of toy centric in terms of like,
Yeah, and also for kids.
Mm-hmm.
well, yeah, exactly, that
Yeah.
too. And so you get a licensed, I don't know, like G.I. Joe or something, right? Like, and it's just like, this is just a toy. Like, this is a toy franchise, and this is just a different way of playing with that franchise. It's just a different kind of toy. And I think that informed a lot of the not only like development and publishing stuff, but also just player perception. Like, as a player in the early 90s, there was sort of this like, it was exciting to be like, how was this character represented in pixels? Like, ooh, I bet if you get to the end, you see the Joker. And it's like, it was just like translation of properties into this new kind of toy. Was a lot of what I think informed games in the early 90s.
Licensing oriented.
Yeah.
I got a few things. One is sort of, maybe it's quite related to the technical limitations thing, but there were a lot of games where it was like, I came up with this technique. Like, I figured out how to rotate something, or I figured out how to fake 3D in this particular way. What game can we put around that? And then you would partner up with a license or some other thing would happen. So there was a lot of that. Another thing in the wider context. Sure. Like Toy Story on the Genesis has it's got like a first-person shooter section. It has a kart section. It has faked 3D and a side-scrolling section along the lines of Clockwork Knight, but that was actual 3D. But Traveler's Tales, they were doing that kind of stuff all the time. Like Sonic 3D Blast pushes the number of colors that you can do, but it also had an intro FMV that ran at a good frame rate and looked relatively uncompressed, even though it was.
Well, my favorite example is still The Adventures of Batman and Robin on the Genesis, which is just some like hardcore engineering dorks, just like
some demo scene weirdo was like, here, I'm putting it all in. We're making it look easy.
For those of us who are not familiar with that, can you talk about what you're talking about?
Oh yeah, it's just every scene, every level has some big graphical centerpiece that the Genesis wasn't supposed to be able to do.
Yeah.
Like, they were tiling a background so that it looked like it was moving in 3D while also animations were playing on it. They were
a lot of like
doing
scanline tricks, a lot of like, if you've ever seen like demo scene intro things where it's like a weird texture that just like scrolls
warps and
forever,
turns around. Yeah,
like it's a lot of that kind of thing. And it's neat. I don't know. I do like the game. I don't know that it's Batman at all, but
Yeah, there's
it's a
no
cool
reason
game.
for that to be in there, but I love that it is.
There's tons of faked transparency that looks really good, especially on a CRT and all that kind of stuff. But another wider context thing I wanted to bring in was popular music. The Genesis especially was focusing on like New Jack Swing and R&B and using essentially a similar sound chip to the Yamaha synthesizers of the era, and so sounding closer to being hip and what was on the radio at the time. Whereas the Super Nintendo was doing more, was like all sample based, and that meant in a different way they could try to do things like, you know, rock or orchestral or other things, but there was a real attempt to align with popular music that you couldn't exactly do in the NES and previous with the chips that they were using. And I think that was a big thing that helped push the idea of video games being cool and being a little aspirational, because you could attach it to movies in a more interesting way than you could in prior generations. And you had music that started to sound like the cool stuff that you heard on the radio. And like Sonic was written by a popular, the lead guy of a popular Japanese pop band, Dreams Come True.
Michael Jackson.
And then Michael Jackson did the third one. And yeah, so that kind of stuff was pushing it. But then there was also the edginess that generally came with the 90s. That was another thing that surrounded it. So you had your advertisements where it's like, screw you, Dad, I'm playing Nuts McSquirrel or whatever it was.
Yeah.
You have to make that
like
game
punch
now.
me in the face and pull my pants down. It's time for RoboCod or whatever. It didn't make any sense.
No one needs to make Nuts McSquirrel. Ash.
Yeah.
No, I disagree.
There are many games that are Nuts McSquirrel.
Yeah. We have enough nuts.
Including what's like Mr. Nuts, the
Mr.
squirrel.
Nuts with a Z.
Yeah.
Mr. Nuts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That shows you
Yeah.
what I know.
Punky Skunk. That was a real one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome Possum is basically that. Yeah.
Daxter is kind of that from Jack and Daxter.
Mm-hmm.
We've got enough Nuts McSquirrels. We don't have enough.
Okay, that's the episode title. We've got enough Nuts
Nuts
McSquirrel.
We've got enough Nuts McSquirrels. What is the Blue Sky is dying of video games?
There are no good games. There are no good games to play.
Oh, yeah. No, I think that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No
That's
good
literally
games.
fucking
That's
it. I'm
it.
so sick of these people. There are no good games to play. My brother in Christ, you have not played a new game since NBA 2K 2023. Please step outside of your bubble. That's it. Like, we don't
That's
have to. We can
Let's-
go to another.
Yeah,
question.
we can go to the lightning round.
Yeah, I do that. There's one other. I think another flavor of it potentially is wokeness is killing games, because the Blue Sky is dying is mostly from people that show up and complain that they're not popular.
Right.
Because they're assholes on Twitter and
Because
nobody
they're
wants to deal with
assholes
their bullshit.
Yeah, and nobody wants
Yeah.
to deal with them. And so I think the wokeness is killing video games is another
The same
angle that you
people
could throw at
making
that.
the same complaints. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one. Before I go to the lightning round, does anyone have any credits they would like to spend today?
Okay. Because
What do we got?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
So
I got a preview of this. I had heard that Ash had a spending plan. Okay.
yes, we have a
Ready.
spending plan. So this episode is being recorded on Juneteenth. You get it
That's
after
correct.
that. But in the spirit of Juneteenth, you guys have to do what I say today. So I'm going to put down a stack of 4 credits and announce that I am making the panel play Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering. So here is how
Huh?
this is going to
Oh
work.
my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The new
I-
set
Yeah.
of Magic the Gathering cards is Final Fantasy based.
Yes.
I have to spend a lot of money to do that.
You don't.
You will not.
Okay.
You will probably
That's
have to
good
spend
news.
some money, but you will have to, it won't be a lot. So the way that this is going to work is you all are going to make accounts on Magic the Gathering Arena. Jaffe has recently done this. He can walk you through that. Shouldn't be that
Mhm.
hard. You're going to play through the tutorial because you kind of have to if you are not familiar with collectible card games or Magic in general. It's a bit dense. It's hard to get. It's to your benefit to play through the tutorials to figure out the lay of the land and to unlock the game to the point where you can participate in all the Final Fantasy events, which will be going on for at least a month. And then what you guys are going to do is I'm going to have you play the Jumpstart event, which is going on for until like mid-July. So you kind of have to get on this because it's going to go away. And that's going to make it really harder for us to play on a somewhat level playing field. We can talk about the specifics offline, but essentially you're going to participate in this event where you have to pick an aesthetic that you like, weapons, deviousness or whatever, or colors that you like, or like blue, black, red, green, etc.
Purple, the color of the chemical plant zone.
Exactly. There's no purple,
that is very pretty.
unfortunately.
Oh, that's too bad.
So you pick 2 of these different archetypes. Magic mashes them together and makes you a deck. So you don't have to go through the process of learning how to make a deck yourself. It's kind of done for you. And the power levels of all of these Jumpstart decks are somewhat equal. I know Esper will probably quibble about that a little bit, but I think they're a bit equal for our purposes. You're going to save those decks to your account. And then we're going to use those decks to play against each other. So that's what we're going to do. I and Esper and Jaffe, now since he's our new man on the scene, will be available to help you guys get started and answer any questions you might have. But I think that will be fun. So yeah, that's what we're doing. Put the sound effect in there. I am making you guys play a game. It's going to be Magic the Gathering, Final Fantasy. And once we've played them, we'll get to talk about like the cards and how well or not well these cards fit the mechanics of their.
Oh, yeah. I am excited about some of these. Some of these cards are really cool.
They're really cool. They're so much fun. The designers of this set you can tell when they are really passionate about something because you can feel it. Magic the Gathering has done other video game crossovers before with like Fallout and Assassin's Creed, and they kind of really didn't move the needle. But this one, you can tell like they wanted to get this right, and by God, they nailed it. It is so good. It is so much fun. Like, for an example, there's a card that's suplex. So from Final Fantasy, 6, you can suplex. Yep. And there is a little thing in there where it will either just do direct damage to like an opponent or a creature. And then there's another thing where it can exile artifacts. There's another card, the Doom Train. It is an artifact, so you can suplex the train in this.
Right. If you have a favorite Final Fantasy, it captures something you like about that Final Fantasy, which is pretty cool.
Even little meta jokes like that are not necessarily specific to the game, but have been hyped up by the community after all of these years. Like they've incorporated that as well. It's good stuff. So they put a triple triad card in there, so you can play a card game in your card game. That kind of shit.
There's a whole blitzball thing. It's pretty cool. I have gone from not really caring about this to pretty interested in it. I have already accidentally convinced someone else to try Magic the Gathering, so I'm spreading it already. I've come a very long way in a week since I picked this up.
Well, I'm working from much further back than not caring about it, so we'll see how I get to. And I have to play this on the on the personal computer, I suppose.
It's also
you can play it
mobile.
on a tablet, or your phone if you want.
Okay, that will make it a little easier.
Maybe not your phone exactly.
No,
if you have a tablet.
I did it on my phone and I was fine.
Okay, because I was worried that the shrinking of the UI from a desktop to a phone would make things a little bit more complicated, especially if you're not used to it. The UI can defeat you as much as your opponent can if you misclick and things like that. So just be warned.
Yeah. Esper has volunteered to set up accounts for you both and get you started if you need that help. So talk to them. Let's go. Does anyone else want to spend any credits? I got these gotcha packs.
Not at this time.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
All right. We'll go to our lightning round. We're playing one of my favorite games, Famicom Feud.
Nice.
This is the one where you take turns trying to name something that's on my board.
Okay.
And if you lose 3 times, then you're out. Whoever is the last standing wins. We're going to go in show order. Frank, then Ash, then Brandon. Here is what you're trying to do this week. Name a video game that has more than one official novel tie-in.
Okay, so I get the question, and what's the winning state? Like, there's a finite number.
You're out when you get it wrong 3 times.
Okay. Okay, so a game that has more than one official novel adaptation?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I'm going to start with Doom.
Show me Doom. Doom has 1, 2, 3, 4 official novel tie-ins from Pocket Star. and 2 from Pocket Books for Doom 3.
Oh, tie-ins also count, not just an adaptation
Tie-ins
of a
also
single
count.
game.
Tie-ins also count.
Going
okay.
going last is a disadvantage here.
It sure is.
Yes.
Ash, you're up.
Let's just get the easy one out of the way. World of Warcraft.
Show me World of
Good answer.
Warcraft.
Good answer.
There are a ton of World of Warcrafts. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Too many. There are too many World of
you don't have
Warcraft
to count.
novels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of too many, I'm gonna go Halo. Show me that Halo.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna.
Don't even
fewer
count
Halo fewer Halo novels than there are World of Warcraft novels.
I believe that. All right.
All right. Lightning round, Mass Effect.
Show me Mass Effect. Yeah, there are 4 Mass Effect novels and 3
Yep.
Mass Effect Andromeda novels. Ash?
Dragon Age.
Dragon Age.
Dragon
yes,
Age.
there are a bunch of Dragon Age novels. 1, 2, 3, 4. 7 Dragon Age novels.
Should be more than that.
Or 6 in one short story collection, which counts.
All right. EverQuest.
Show me EverQuest. There are 4 EverQuest novels.
Yeah.
Do Choose Your Own Adventures count as novels?
Choose Your Own Adventures, I think, do count.
All right. Super Mario Brothers.
Show me.
Oh, yeah.
I think there was only 1 Super Mario Brothers.
No.
I owned like 8. So
Okay.
no.
Yeah.
So then I guess no, they're not on this list.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're like 50 pages.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's
No,
enough.
they're like 100.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, the only one I have on this list is Mario and the Incredible Rescue by Tracy West.
That does not sound like a Choose Your Own Adventure.
Yeah, so I guess Choose Your Own Adventure does not count, but I didn't know that, so I'm not going to penalize you this time.
I am going to, I don't know
Nice.
if I've explained this on the show before, but there's one where they get small and go inside of Yoshi.
Oh boy.
They like to do that a lot.
Yeah, they'd like to go inside of Yoshi a lot.
No, they like to
and-
get small and go inside things.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's
popular.
And inside of Yoshi, in the Choose Your Own Adventure verse, Yoshi is a society of very intelligent, like tummy dolphins that are like in his stomach.
Oh,
TVs.
And Mario and company try to convince them that they are inside of a dinosaur and there's an entire world outside of here, and they don't believe him.
this sounds like a dream. This sounds like you're describing a dream you had, Frank.
So I recommend the
Do
entire.
does he convince them? Like, does it work?
I don't believe so, but I have
All
not
right.
read these since I was like
I'm going to
9.
let you pass this time, Frank, but no more Choose Your Own Adventures. Ash.
Okay.
Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's
Ooh.
Creed. Oh, yeah, there are a bunch of Assassin's Creed novels. There are just too many. There might be more Assassin's Creed novels than World of Warcraft novels.
I'd believe it.
All right. Final Fantasy. I feel like there aren't that many, but there's some.
There's at least one.
There's
Yeah.
enough. There are novelizations of 1, 2, and 3, of 2 of 7, 3 of 13, 1 of 5,
It's more than I thought.
and 1 of the remake. Yeah,
there
so
should be
there's a
one of
bunch
15
outlets.
as well.
Yeah, there's 1 of 15, yes.
Okay.
Dawn of the Future.
Frank's turn.
Oh, it's
Frank's
my turn. Call of Duty.
Show me. Call of...
Oh, yeah,
Nope,
good
that's
idea.
your first X.
Oh.
No Call of Duty
That
novels.
would surprise me.
Yeah.
Really?
Uh-huh. That does surprise me. They like that shit over there. Like, come on, the soap
No,
ghost
I'm,
girlies?
no, the really is not to you.
Yeah, it's
Well.
really, there aren't any. Yeah,
No.
that's
All right.
surprising.
That is
Ash,
weird. God, I had my answer and I forgot about it. God of War.
show me. God of War. There are... I'll count it. 3 God of War. There's a novelization of God of War 2, and the God of War 2018 game. They're all individual games, but I'll give it to you.
I'm gonna make 2 jokes.
Okay.
One of them is Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six,
Good point.
and then I forgot what my other joke was, but it was very similar. It was very similar.
Was it
So-
Dante's Inferno?
It
your
was
other joke
Dante's Inferno. It was
Yeah, I
Dante's
knew it.
Sorry.
I'm giving myself a credit on
It
that
was
one.
Dante's Inferno. Okay, all right. We're getting into the weeds here. For me, I think that I'm running out of popular RPGs that I can think of that were popular enough at the right time. So I'm gonna say Dragon Quest, and we're gonna see where we get to. Like, why wouldn't there be a Dragon Quest?
That's another strike. No Dragon Quest
Really?
novelizations,
What?
yeah.
Even in Japan, there's no novels.
Even not on this list I'm looking at. No.
I don't believe it.
All right.
I don't either.
I'm gonna start trying some like ones that I'm not super confident about, just to mix things up here.
Okay.
Show me Mega Man.
Show me Mega Man.
Jeffy, I just looked up Dragon Quest novel, and the first hit is a Reddit person saying, "I'm currently reading a novelization of the first Dragon Quest game. You know what? It's pretty good."
Maybe that's the only one though.
But there has to be at least one, right?
There has to be more than one.
More
So
than
when
one.
was that?
Okay, well, I'm gonna do a little more.
That
Do a
was a
little
rule.
more
Yeah.
looking.
That was a rule from the very beginning. Yeah, it was.
Oh, I
yeah,
missed that
that was a
part.
rule.
Shit.
All right. There's only one Mega Man novelization. There was a novelization of Mega Man 2
Worlds of Power.
from Worlds of Power. That's correct.
Is this
Shit.
English only?
This might be English only. Yeah.
All right.
Ash.
Shit. Fuck. Resident Evil.
Show me
Oh, nice.
Resident Evil. That's correct. There are a bunch of Resident Evil books.
Yeah,
all
that makes
written
sense.
by S.D. Perry.
Oh, super deformed Perry.
Mhm.
He's a
That
little
was
guy.
Oh, that's dumb.
Yeah, it is. That knocked my guess right out of out of my head. I had one. I was all ready, and then SD Perry came along. Commodore
that's how it
SD
be.
Perry. Okay, what was it? It was something good. It was
something with multiple novel tie-ins.
Oh, it wasn't that great. It was another try and see. It's Ultima.
Show
Ultima
me Ultima.
feels like it could.
Yeah, that's not on the list.
What the heck?
Yeah.
What the heck? People love Ultima. I guess not enough.
Okay, Frank, you're down to your last strike.
Okay, I am still in the game. That's surprising. All right, I'm going to go for the most chaotic answer, because where do you
Alright.
draw the line? Ghost Recon.
Ghost
No.
Recon.
That's the joke I already made. You don't get
no.
to.
It-
I mean, I guess.
I mean, like, how
I
are you
guess.
counting this?
Yeah, Ghost
Does it
Recon
count?
started as a video game series, so I will count it.
Oh,
There are 4 Ghost Recon novels.
okay. I thought I was joking. I thought it started
Yeah.
as a novel. And,
No.
well,
No, the game came
I'm
first.
confusing it with the Tom Clancy franchise.
Right.
Yeah.
You're Tom Clancy's apostrophes. Frank, you're still in the game. Ash?
Okay.
Well, since we said Resident Evil, we gotta say Silent Hill.
Silent Hill. I'm sorry, there's only no. There are there are 4 Silent Hill books. You got it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Wow.
Am I gonna
I gotta
Am I
start
gonna
writing
die?
my ideas down because I
Yeah.
keep forgetting.
die right now?
Yeah, this is your last strike.
Son of a. I have some thoughts, but I'm not confident. I'm not. If I were writing novels, I wouldn't write novels about these ideas that I have.
Yeah.
So maybe I should just say that it's not it. Because I was gonna say Street Fighter, but I just don't think that someone would write a Street Fighter novel.
No,
and I think
that would
if-
actually be a good guess. I'm serious.
I think it isn't. I think it's wrong. So who am I gonna go with instead? Wait. Hold on.
Are you Googling?
I'm
don't
looking
think
at. I am, but I'm looking up if something was a game first before it was anything else. And
I'm not
but
gonna
I
allow
realized I
that.
shouldn't do that. Okay, I'm not doing it. I'm gonna say, I didn't look it up. Fate Stay Night. I think
Ooh.
that was a game
Ooh, that was a game first.
Yeah,
But it was
that's
an
not on
anime
my
first.
list. I think a light novel counts as something else. Yeah.
No, it's a novel.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it was a visual novel first. And I think that's
so
a different thing.
That's a
I
video
think that's
game.
a different thing.
Okay,
for the
visual
purposes
novel,
of this
yes.
list.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a visual. It's a video game. That's a video game. What? You're gonna tell me visual novels are not?
You know
video
what?
games?
I'm going to count this the way I counted Frank's Choose Your Own Adventure thing, where I'll count it this time, but that's your last one.
Okay. All right.
All right, Frank, you got 1 strike left. You're still in this.
Have we done Gears of War?
We have not
Oh,
done
wow.
Gears
If
of
Good
not,
idea.
Yep, that's a good one.
Good
Show me
answer.
Gears of War.
Yeah, that's
Good
absolutely. Those
answer,
do
good
exist.
answer. There are 5 Gears of War novels,
Yeah, I've seen them.
all by Karen Travis.
KT.
Yeah.
Okay.
She wrote a lot of Clone Wars novels.
This might get me my first strike, but we're gonna go for it. Minecraft.
Wait, you had 1 strike already, I thought.
No,
did?
Ash has no credits. Ash has
no
no
strikes?
strikes. She's
No
credits.
She's pitching
What
a perfect. She's pitching a perfect game, and she continues to. There are 22 Minecraft novels, gang.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God. Okay. This will be very silly, but it's probably, I don't know. Are there Roblox novels? I'm at this point. I'm just curious if there's Roblox novels.
There are no Roblox novels.
There's no story.
Yeah,
I know.
Well,
but
there's not really a story of Minecraft.
there's not really a
either,
story of
but
Minecraft either.
Minecraft is at least more of a game than a platform.
What the heck? Blast it.
That's like
Well, that's
asking
it
if
for me.
there's any PlayStation Home novelizations. I could write a book like that.
And are there?
No, Brandon, you are out of the game. Frank, last strike.
Show me Baldur's Gate.
Show me Baldur's
Come
Gate.
on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there are 3 Baldur's Gate novelizations.
But is Baldur's Gate not first an tabletop RPG?
No, Baldur's
No,
Gate is
because
a
that's
video game based on Dungeons and Dragons, but it itself is a video game.
All right.
I'm counting it.
I would count it too.
All right, Ash, it's your game to lose.
but Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat. Show me Mortal Kombat. There is only one Mortal Kombat novelization.
Oh,
That's your
strike
Only
one.
one?
Yeah.
All right, Icewind Dale. Let's go.
Icewind
Oh, okay.
Dale.
Are you just gonna? Okay.
He's
All
taking
right.
a dive.
Yeah, there are no Icewind Dale novelizations, Frank. Nice try.
I think I might be looking at one right now, but okay.
Well, then it's not on
Our
my
novel section is right over
Then
there.
then my list is incomplete.
But if it's only one,
But
And,
if it's
and I
only
want to
one,
be clear, I can't actually see any of the spines.
Yeah.
I just know that over there is where I put the novelization.
oh, and were there any Street Fighter novel more than one? I think
There
there
were
was
2.
one. There were 2.
There
Oh
were 2.
wow!
Oh, you should have went with it.
Shoot!
Should've gone with it.
I would have liked that one. Yeah.
Ash, you're a winner this week's episode. Congratulations. You are
Nice
back
work.
up to 5 credits. Does anyone have anything they would like to recommend at this point?
Sure, I do. Yeah. First
Oh,
of all,
dang it. Sorry.
What?
There was already an existing fantasy book series called Icewind Dale, which is probably why they didn't adapt the game.
That makes sense.
That got me. That got me.
Yeah.
All right,
It
Brandon,
was
go
a
on
series
with
about
your-
a guy named Dale
Dale.
from yeah,
The guy
who had
named
the
Dale.
power of Icewind. Yeah.
First of all, just speaking of things from the 90s, maybe some people will find this interesting. I, for the first time here in 2025, or at least that I can recall, maybe it happened before, I was listening to a cassette tape, and as older persons will recall, cassette tapes, they have a fixed length, and so sometimes the music would end before the end of one side of the cassette was over, and you'd have to fast forward it to the end and flip it over. I was listening to the soundtrack to the Bollywood film Koila, and the first track's pretty good. When there was extra space on the tape, they took that opportunity to advertise other soundtracks and play little bits of it.
Oh, that rules.
It does, and I was like, why? I know why they didn't always do this, because it's obnoxious. But why didn't they always do this? Because it seems like something that people would do. So that was just a fun little thing that happened. They advertised 2 different soundtracks, and I was like, huh, look at that. So that's not a recommendation. That's just a fun thing that happened. One recommendation is to support your alt weeklies if they still exist, because I found that ours, East Bay Express, is like, it's back again, and you can't find it all over the place like you used to be able to, but it's like a 16-page newsprint thingy that tells you some shows that are happening this week, a restaurant that opened, a play you can see, and you can read through the whole thing in like 10 minutes, and it's really nice. It's like it's a nice little bite-sized thing, and it's like, hey, by the way, the national parks are open, and here's something you can do. It's like, oh, great, thank you, Alt Weekly.
Sounds pleasant. Thanks.
It was
Yeah.
very pleasant. So if you still have those, if you can find them, if your coffee shop carries them or whatever, go check those out and give them your support.
I'm curious what happened with the East Bay Express, because I remember it like near the end, it was like everyone was kind of laid off and they were just taking other people's content and republishing it. So I wonder if
Yeah.
it got like reacquired by the creators or something.
I don't know what exactly happened. It did get like destroyed and gutted and ruined, and then it wasn't like a crypto scam website for a while, but it was something like that.
Right. That's
it
my
was-
memory too. I can't remember exactly,
Yeah.
but it was just like, oh, this is just,
Yeah,
yeah,
it was
this got
all gone.
capitalized.
It was all gone, but now there's like an editor-in-chief and an editor, and then various contributors who write little articles and it's a newspaper again, and it's nice. Yeah, it's good. My other recommendation is a movie called Guns and Guts.
Oh,
Which is a good title. So for those of you who may enjoy spaghetti westerns or similar, they were making, as we perhaps all know, they were making westerns in Italy, and with directors like Sergio Leone, and directing Clint Eastwood and all these kinds of people. But there were also the lower tier ones with Franco Nero and all these kinds of guys. They were also doing it in Spain, but they were also doing it in Mexico, which I did not know until recently. And I watched 2 of these Western type movies from Mexico from that era. And one that I quite liked was called Guns and Guts. And it's fun because it started off with a guy, he's like running from the cops, and then he blows into town, and then he just starts beating up individual shop owners. And the shop owners are like, he's not here, he doesn't live here anymore, or whatever. And then he's like, oh, okay, after beating them up some more, and then taking a piece of their clothing and putting it on himself. But by the time he gets to like the 4th guy, it just cuts to him getting beat up, and he's like struggling against the shopkeeper who's just like pounded him in the face and was like, okay, I get it. He's not here anymore. Goodbye. I'm leaving. It's rare for a movie of a Western of that era to do comedy in a way that works for me. And this one did it. In addition to, being your average, these guys are shooting at each other and all that kind of cool stuff. So check out Guns and Guts.
Guns and Guts.
That's my recommendation.
Warriors, Guns and Guts.
Were you trying to do regulators there, Frank?
No, I was doing.
That's what it sounded like.
I was doing Ikari Warriors 2.
Oh, yeah.
The arcade game, if you leave it alone, there's some guy who probably worked at SNK US at the time or something.
Yeah.
Goes, Warriors, show some guts.
Right.
Oh, there we go. It was an even deeper cut reference.
I
Ash,
remember
do you have
that.
anything?
That was good.
Hey, Jeffy, did anybody sign up for the Patreon so I could do a bunch of drag names? Because you can do that.
Good question.
For the month of June.
Yeah. For the month
Subscribe
of June.
to the Patreon.
If you subscribe to the Patreon at the, I'm going to say $10 level, and drop a video game franchise, Ash is going to come up with some drag names on the spot.
There's one that keeps
put a post for that.
intruding into my brain that is not a video game related one, so I'll give this away for free. We've been watching Jeopardy. Jeopardy Masters is on Hulu right now, and just every time Jeopardy comes on, I'm like, Jen Kennings.
Jen Kennings.
Yeah.
So I've got a drag name, just one off the rip. Conky Dong.
Conky
Nice.
Dong.
Yep.
That's
Okay.
good.
So my recommendation this week, Steam Next Fest is over, but this is a recommendation both for game developers and people who like to play games. If you are the people who like to play games and you're one of those people who lament that there is nothing good to play, Steam Next Fest is for you to find the next thing that you didn't know you wanted. A recommendation for game developers is to keep your game demos available after Steam Next Fest is over. I'm seeing, from what I see so far, a lot of people have done that because Steam Next Fest ended a couple of days ago, so good job. But I know that they kind of like time window that. I don't know if there's like some secret developer thing that I am not aware of why they take them down, but yeah, keep them up.
I can
Is
explain
there
why we
a
keep
reason?
them down.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah, it's because a demo is kind of frozen in time because you can't keep updating it and make your video game. And so when you have your demo up and people are finding bugs in it, or they have complaints, or they have whatever they want, and as happens to us, and we do keep our demo up, you wind up getting people logging bugs and having complaints like about something that just essentially doesn't exist anymore. It's like a year ago. And so it winds up being a resource drag to have it up there, especially if like our demo's pretty stable, so the complaints aren't that serious. But if you have like a big problem in your demo or something like that, and then you leave it up, it leaves that perception of the game being that way when perhaps you fixed that thing many months ago. So I think that's the main reason why people take it down, is to not be updating multiple things throughout the experience. Like I think one way people do it is either try to launch a really stable demo. I mean, you always want to try to launch a really stable one, but either do that or put your demo up again, a new version after the game is out.
Okay.
So that but yeah, I also agree that leaving your demo up, if you can plan for it, is good. It does tend to get more. It'll get you more wish lists over time because people will eventually get around to it and they'll be able to try it out after they put it into their queue. I think I ultimately agree with you that it's good to keep your demo up, but I also understand why people take it down is all.
And the good thing about Steam Next Fest is that they do them like multiple times throughout the year. So if you are a Steam PC player, another one will be around. Check it out. Can I do have an opportunity to tell a quick story about another Summer Games Fest thing that I think is funny?
Go for it.
So there were games there, but there weren't a lot of them. And there was one game that definitely should not have been there because it was in such this unfinished state. I'm not going to say what it is. I actually don't think I remember the name of the game, but I'm not going to describe it either. So you can't like pinpoint what it is. But the PR person was, taking me aside before my appointment. And he was like, just so you know, this is a demo, work in progress. You might see some bugs, which, you expect when you see games like this. But this one was like super unfinished. It had a really interesting idea that I enjoyed. And the combat was like interesting when it worked. It often didn't work. But one of the things that was really funny that the game developer was like super impressed with me because I was playing the game and I saw that the doors were unfinished. I'm like, oh, yep, you're having trouble with doors because doors I know are like the one thing that seems like it's not complicated, but is like hell on video game developers. And I was like remarking on the doors, like, doors giving you trouble. And he looked at me with like, I just spoke his own like secret language to him. Like he did not expect general people to know about the doors. I'm like, yeah, I know about doors. I just thought that was funny.
I know about doors.
I miss those days of going to shows and breaking people's games. That was fun.
I wasn't even breaking the game. It was just broken.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't mean like on purpose necessarily. Just through being a normal person breaking the game.
Yeah.
I've told the story before, but my favorite one was when I sat down and played. I think it was Black Site 51, and the demo guy was like, "Here you go, please enjoy." And I was like, "Sorry, I have a tendency to break video games when I play them." And he's like, "Well, good luck doing that to this." And
and then you broke it.
I broke it within 10 seconds of the game starting, and he's like, "Well, you weren't supposed to go left."
Yeah.
Like, come on.
It's one of the main directions.
Yep.
Not even one of the more
good.
obscure ones.
Pretty good. I just walked right inside of a mountain and got stuck inside of it. Like, well,
that's funny.
Time to reset it, please.
Frank, you got anything?
No, nothing this week.
That's all right. I got enough for all of us.
Thanks.
I would like to recommend that if you're listening to this show and you like this show even a little bit as much as we do, that you rate and review it wherever and however you can. It does help us, I promise. I swear to God. You'd also support us directly with your contributions to patreon.com/insertcredit. If you'd like to sponsor our show with an advertisement or personal message, or give us your own horrible buzzer, you can email me at show@insertcredit.com. You could also join our community at forums.insertcredit.com or find us on youtube.com/insertcreditshow. Demon School, The Verge, Video Game History Foundation is where you can find our panelists elsewhere. This episode is edited by Esper Quinn with music by Kurt Feldman. I'm Alex Jaffe.
I'm Frank Cifaldi.
I'm Ash Parrish.
I'm Brandon Sheffield.
And no one told you that your game had now been saved. Enjoy editing that, Esper.
Thanks.
Sorry, Esper.
Sometimes I like to pull a little prank.
None of us knew that was going to happen, but we all were like, "Oh my God, I have to get ready to clap."
You have to do it.